Good Friday evening and welcome to the Ncwlife Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. And wasn't it nice today? A lot cooler temperatures out there. We are seeing some windy conditions at times with gusts around 20 miles an hour and basically a steady wind of 10 to 15. But boy, as we take a look from Wenatchee Heights from our Sky-Fi tower cam, it's the cross camera down at the Wenatchee Valley. A beautiful day, still some haze and smoke though up the valley towards Ncwlife where that Cougar Creek fire is burning. We'll talk about that in a second. But enjoy these temperatures that we're going to see over the next couple of days because yes, this is our trend. Today in the low 80s. We'll move into the middle 80s on Saturday, 90 for Sunday, and then just get hotter from there, topping out all the way up near 100 by the middle of next week. And I'll have your complete weather forecast coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the news stories we're following for you tonight. A Wenatchee Valley firefighting official says crews are responding to wildland fires a lot quicker and with more resources this season. 2 family pets were lost when a fire swept through a house in Manson Thursday afternoon. And the Chelan-Douglas Health District reports another rabid bat has been discovered in Chelan County. But first, we begin tonight. Winds gusting to 40 miles an hour pushed the Cougar Creek fire last night to over 3,600 acres. Latest update is it now is at 3,614 acres. Fire managers report there was extreme crowning and wind-driven runs and spotting last night, as was this morning. The Ncwlife River Road is now closed due to level 3 evacuations from Potato Creek to milepost 24 due to rapid fire growth. Mad River to Potato Creek is at a level 2 evacuation notice for now. The fire is expected to spread 1 to 2 miles to the north and east today, as well as a half-mile estimated spread to the west and south. 426 fire personnel are working the fire. The Cougar Creek fire is burning in timber, dead trees from beetle kill, and large materials on the ground from the 1994 fires. A Type 1 incident management team takes command of that fire tomorrow morning. Well, a Wenatchee Valley firefighting official says crews are responding to wildland fires a lot quicker and with more resources this season. Douglas County Fire District 2 Chief Dave Baker reflects on 3 major brush fires that could have caused significant damage if not for the swift response by local, state, and federal agencies.
We've had 3 major fires, if you will. One was the Baird Springs Stew Miller right at the base of the Trinidad. We had another fire by Mansfield Landing, and then the Turtle Rock fire. And what we are noticing as a fire district is we are getting resources from the state. They're not waiting on these fires anymore. They're sending a lot of resources our ways, helicopters, crews, engines, that kind of stuff. So we're putting a bunch of people on these fires, and from what I'm seeing in our fires is we're getting containment on those fires a lot quicker.
Washington State Public Lands Commissioner Hillary Franz says the goal is to keep the fires as small as possible. The State Department of Natural Resources changed its approach to firefighting in 2017. Attack from the air early, pre-position resources, and have agencies trained together before the season. Well, 2 family pets were lost when a fire swept through a house in Manson Thursday afternoon. It was reported around 4 p.m. Manson Fire Chief Arnold Baker says it was human-caused.
Resident there, they had parked the riding lawnmower under the deck, and they just finished mowing the lawn, and a fire started in the carburetor of that lawnmower, and the guy's walking away from it. He hears the pop, and he turned around, and before he could get a water hose, fire had climbed up the wall, got through the deck, upper floor, and into the attic. So when we arrived, we actually had 3 floors of fire, including attic, and the attic system was already beginning to fail. So it was pretty quick demise of the home.
Baker says the house, located at 50 Cone Drive, was a total loss. The family escaped uninjured and was being attended to by the American Red Cross. Well, the Chelan-Douglas Health District reports another rabid bat has been discovered in Chelan County. This is the 6th such case of rabies found in a bat this year in our area. The latest discovery was on July 31st at about 6 p.m. when a bat was found on the ground at the Leavenworth National Fish Hatchery. The animal tested positive for rabies. It's unknown whether anyone or any pets touched or were otherwise exposed to the rabid bat. If you or any person or pet had contact with the bat, Chelan Douglas Health District asks that you contact your local public health department or your health care provider. Coming up next, congressional candidate Dino Rossi was in Wenatchee again on Thursday and sat down with Ncwlife for an interview. Central Washington University professor and Washington State House Representative Matt Manueller is lashing out at the institution's ongoing investigation into allegations of inappropriate conduct. And Washington State's primary election ballots are due next Tuesday. So far, returns have been slow. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the Ncwlife Evening News.
Choose the pros, Alignment Pros. When your vehicle needs brakes, shocks, struts, or alignment, choose the experts in their field. Alignment Pros and Express Lube with a 5-star rating. The work they perform on your vehicle is as impeccable as their shop. With state-of-the-art equipment, Alignment Pros can handle all large or small vehicles, specialty cars, lifted or lowered. Alignment Pros does them all. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube in East Wenatchee.
It's a free walk-in job search assistance center. It is designed to help job seekers with the tools that they need to find a job. We have partnered with libraries in 5 other cities, providing the same types of services that we offer here, just there.
Just walk in, we have laptops, and we can help you with resume, cover letter.
All of our services are paid for by the revenues earned in our store. Goodwill is just a tool that the community is using to help their neighbors find a job. Goodwill, there's more behind the store.
Todd's a great boss. Sometimes he can be a little intense.
Adam, how about a lunchtime run?
I'd love to, Todd, but I gotta lie. Oh, Mr. Jones, you made it. I'm glad you can make it. You're really gonna love our lifetime warranty on all new Hondas. Let's walk and talk.
Oh, the running thing? It gets them hustling. I consider myself a great motivator.
Welcome back. In another news, 8th District Congressional candidate Dino Rossi has been making his rounds throughout the Wenatchee Valley since announcing last year that he would seek the position being vacated by U.S. Representative Dave Reichert. Rossi was in Wenatchee again on Thursday, and I had a chance to sit down with him, and we talked about, among other things, tariffs, immigration, and building a wall. The 58-year-old Rossi is in the 7th political campaign of his career. In Wenatchee for a Republican fundraiser, I asked him to respond to how recent tariffs are affecting local fruit growers and if he agrees with President Trump's hardline stand.
It's been very difficult. I've been very clear that I really don't believe anybody wins a trade war. You know, of course, I have support from every Farm Bureau in every county and the State Farm Bureau in this, and always have in every election I've ever had. So I've been in constant contact with people in the ag community, and it's going to be difficult. I don't know that I would have taken on all of them at once, China, EU, Canada, Mexico, everybody. I might have just picked one and made an example and gone from there, but it's not my call. But we have to be concerned when our products can't get to market or the markets that we're looking for.
We also talked about the continuing immigration reform controversy and the effects it has on area growers.
It's clear it's too easy for people to get here illegally and too hard for people to get here legally. We need to have a guest worker program that actually works. And guest work is different than immigration. It's for people that are going to come, work, and go back to wherever they came from. But you can't do that unless you have real border security and you really know who's coming and going.
So you say enhanced border security. Does that mean you're in favor of a wall then?
There has to be physical structure. There's going to be electronic monitoring as well. There needs to be human interaction. It's going to be a combination of all those things to make this work. The whole point is that if you don't actually secure the border, you'll be back in the same boat again 2 years from now, right? It'd be the same issue. We actually have a process, and a country that doesn't have borders isn't really a country.
Including Rossi, there are 11 candidates running for the congressional seat being vacated by Dave Reichert. Rossi was a state senator representing King County from 1996 to 2003 and was reappointed to the state Senate in both 2012 and 2016 by the King County Council. Grant Olson, NCW Life News. In another news, Central Washington University professor and Washington State House Representative Matt Manweller is lashing out at the institution's ongoing investigation into allegations of inappropriate conduct. Manweller condemns the probe in a 4-minute prepared video statement. Here's a snippet of that statement.
Despite what you're going to hear in the media, it is patently false to claim several women came forward to make allegations. The truth is that Central Washington University spent 8 months paying a downtown Seattle lawyer $120,000 to find and pressure people to make statements. Let's be clear, Central is not responding to allegations, they're manufacturing allegations. It should also be noted this is the 3rd time Central has investigated the same claim, once in 2006, then again in 2012, and now one more time in 2018. It seems they want to keep investigating until they get the answer that they want.
Manweller, a political science professor, remains on paid administrative leave until an internal investigation has been completed. An independent outside investigation has been completed, but the findings have not been released. Washington State's primary election ballots are due next Tuesday. So far, less than half of the ballots that were mailed out to voters in Chelan and Douglas counties have been returned. Douglas County Auditor Thad Duvall says he's holding on to his earlier prediction of a 50% voter turnout.
We're about 20% return right now, with a little over 4,000 ballots in and about 21,000 ballots mailed out. And so far we're going okay. We're going to need a push to make 50%, it looks like, here at the end this last week before the election. And wanted to get information out to people that the judges in Douglas County are not on the primary ballot. We're getting a lot of phone calls about that. They go straight to the general. They'll be able to vote on our judges in the general. And then in addition to that, we're having a lot of people that are overvoting in especially the Senate race because there's so many candidates, and they should only vote for one. So just some things we wanted to get out there.
Meanwhile, in Chelan County, Auditor Skip Moore reports 26.7% of the 30,256 ballots mailed out countywide have been returned. You're watching the NCW Life Evening News. Coming up next, your sports update with Eric Granstrom and our feature story tonight. That and much more still to come on the NCW Life Evening News. Stay with us.
On the NCW Life channel.
And we finally made it to Friday. The Wenatchee Apple Sox unfortunately had their 4-game winning streak snapped last night by the Port Angeles Lefties by a score of 5-3 at Paul Thomas Senior Field. Wenatchee held a 3-2 lead until the 8th when Port Angeles put together a rally, scoring 3 runs in the frame off Apple Sox reliever Nick Siemens. The good news for Wenatchee fans hoping for a playoff push for the local team is Yakima Valley lost to Victoria last night 6-5, so the Sox still 3.5 games out of first place. Hawaiian Night also last night, presented by Sunny FM and Journey Travel and Tours. Congratulations, Lori Estes. She won the Coconut Bowl off to earn a trip for 2 to Maui. Not too bad. Les Schwab scoreboard will go for the rest of the West Coast League last night. It was a full slate. Corvallis scored 4 in the first inning and held on to beat Ben 8-5 to sweep that 3-game series. Michael Peterson allowed just 1 hit in 7 innings to lead Walla Walla to a 2-0 win over visiting Kelowna. Michael McLean was 2 for 4 with 3 ribbies to lead Bellingham to an 11-1 win over Cowlitz to complete the 3-game sweep of the Bears. Victoria, as we mentioned, came back to knock off Yakima Valley at County Stadium 6-5 the final. Non-league game, Augie Silk and 2 relievers combined on a 3-hit shutout of Gresham. Portland Pickles sweep it 12-0. West Coast League schedule for tonight. All 6:35 start times. Kelowna is at Bellingham. Walla Walla hosts Yakima Valley. Corvallis at Cowlitz. Portland gets back into league play at Port Angeles while Ben hosts Gresham in a non-league game. Wenatchee and Victoria tonight at 7:05. Wenatchee 12U Cal Ripken major team had a rough start to the World Series in Phoenix City, Alabama this morning, falling to the host team by a final of 10-1. Wenatchee representing the Pacific Northwest, the team in purple there. Nice touch with handing out the Washington State apples after the ball game. Wenatchee will play Virginia State champs this evening and then China tomorrow at the World Series. Wenatchee Rams host a playoff game tomorrow night at Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl. It is the Western Washington Football Alliance playoffs. 6 o'clock as the Kitsap Storm come into town to take on the Rams. Kendrys Morales and Aladamas Diaz scored for Toronto, homered for Toronto, and the Blue Jays downing of Seattle 7-3 at Safeco Field. Felix Hernandez got the start. Didn't look too bad in 5 innings. Allowed 2 runs on 2 hits, 2 strikeouts. Bullpen faltered. Wanda Casio gave up a 2-run shot to Morales in the 7th. The loss dropped Seattle a half game behind idle Oakland in the American League wildcard race. Seattle and Toronto play again tonight, 7:10. Marco Gonzalez facing the Blue Jays. Ryan Baruki also in the American League West last night. Turning to the scoreboard, just one game. Texas blasted Baltimore 17-8. Everybody else was idle. While the Blue Angels were flying above, getting ready for Seafair this weekend, Seahawks continuing preparations for next week's preseason opener against the Colts. Training camp brought to you by Safeway. Day 7 at the facility yesterday. Seahawks receiver Brandon Marshall met with the press. He was asked about the chemistry between he and Russell Wilson.
It shows up on, just being able to speak the same language or not even speaking at all and still being on the same page. You see it with Doug and Russ. You get to a point where you see the game the same way, right? You feel the leverage the same way. Is this going to be a ball over the shoulder, or is it going to be a back shoulder fade? So I think that Russ has it naturally, and there's receivers that have it naturally. So I'm excited about it because I see that, Russ likes to play ball. He likes to scramble a little bit. He likes to run around and make plays down the field. So you always got to be on your toes with him.
Marshall and the rest of the Seahawks continue training camp at the VMAC in Renton, getting ready for the Colts on Thursday. Watch out for that Marshall. Brandon Marshall could be the sleeper for Seattle this season. That's Sports News. I'm Grant Sturm. Have a great weekend. Grant, back to you.
History Museum has a model train exhibit of 1950s Pierce County on permanent display. In tonight's feature story, we go behind the glass and take a look into this miniature world. It's one of former Washington Secretary of State Ralph Monroe's favorite places.
Here we are at Tacoma at the Washington State History Museum, and there's model trains all around us. The Puget Sound Model Railroad engineers have built this incredible array of 1950s model trains, and it is something to see. I love trains, and I think most people, no matter what age you are, love model trains. Be sure and visit here between Christmas and New Year's and bring the kids. This is an incredible location and a great place to visit. It truly is one of my favorite places.
Support for My Favorite Places is provided by the Washington Hospitality Association and by Weatherly Inn, senior living where it's home and your family.
We'll be back with the recap of some of our top stories and your complete local weather forecast right after this. So you could
Vominos junk haulers, big or small, they haul it all. Vominos junk haulers are experienced at hauling junk from your household items to yard and construction debris. That old hot tub and eyesore, Vominos, will make it Vominos. Recycling is a priority to Vominos junk haulers. They'll haul away your old appliances and electronics. And for the do-it-yourselfers, Vominos Junk Haulers also rents trucks and trailers. Call Vominos Junk Haulers and Moving Service today to schedule your free estimate.
Where will you be a year from now? You could be working as a medical assistant. The Charter College Medical Assistant Certificate Program gets you work ready in 10 months. Add 5 more months to earn an associate degree. We prepare you with hands-on training and support you after graduation with job search help and interview skills. Institutionally accredited by the Accrediting Bureau of Health Education Schools, Charter has been training healthcare professionals for more than 30 years. Charter College. We work to get you to work.
Eastern Washington. It's a great place to call home and a great time to own a home. It's the ideal place to lay down roots for your family and your future. Gisa Credit Union thinks Eastern Washington is a great place to own a home too. That's why we offer all kinds of home loans with personal attention every step of the way. We're your home. For home loans, we're Gisa Credit Union.
Hi, I'm Cordell Schroeder, owner of East Wenatchee Mobile Storage.
If you're thinking about making a move anytime soon, check out the East Wenatchee Mini Storage brand new mobile storage service. They drop it off at your location, you pack it, and they pick it up and store it in their protected warehouse at East Wenatchee for as long as you need. When you're ready, they'll drop it off at your new home or office. East Wenatchee Mini Storage is excited to offer this brand new service to our region.
Call 509-884-8643 or find us on the web at ewministorage.com.
Hi, Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. When you think of Alpine Air in Wenatchee, think of professional, friendly customer service for all your heating and cooling needs. Alpine Air partners with Carrier, manufacturers of some of the best heating and air conditioning equipment available today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Visit our store in Wenatchee, meet our people, see our shop. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
And welcome back to the NCW Life Evening News. Winds gusting to 40 miles an hour pushed the Cougar Creek fire last night to over 3,600 acres. Last update, it was 3,614. Fire managers report there was extreme crowning and wind-driven runs and spotting. The Entiat River Road is now closed due to level 3 evacuations from Potato Creek to milepost 24 due to rapid fire growth. Mad River to Potato Creek is at a level 2 evacuation for now. The fire is expected to spread 1 to 2 miles to the north and east today, as well as a half-mile estimated spread to the west and to the south. 426 fire personnel are working the fire. The Cougar Creek fire is burning in timber, dead trees from beetle kill, and large materials on the ground from the 1994 Tyee fires. A Type 1 incident management team takes command of the fire tomorrow morning. Well, the Chelan-Douglas Health District reports another rabid bat has been discovered in Chelan County. This is the 6th such case of rabies found in a bat this year in our area. The latest discovery was on July 31st at about 6 p.m. when a bat was found on the ground at the Leavenworth National Fish Hatchery. The animal tested positive for rabies. It's unknown whether anyone or any pets touched or were otherwise exposed to the rabid bat. If you or any person or pet had contact with the bat, Chelan-Douglas Health District asks that you contact your local public health department or your health care provider. And time now for a check of your north central Washington weather forecast. Before we get to the details of that, let's take another look outside at the Wenatchee Valley, the beautiful Wenatchee Valley, from our cross camera up at Wenatchee Heights and the Sky-Fi Tower camera. Thank you to Sky-Fi for this beautiful view. Temperatures much cooler out there today, but you notice the camera moving around a little bit. Yeah, we saw some wind today as well, primarily out of the west and northwest at about 10 to 20 miles an hour. Let's take a look at our surface loop now, and we're going to show you some of these winds. And I'm using this map mainly to show you the huge area of low pressure that's up in the Gulf of Alaska right now. This will actually affect our weather as we move into next week. On Saturday, temperatures today, I should say, lower 80s for Saturday at 4 p.m. We'll probably be in the mid 80s or so as that low pressure continues to slide down. By Sunday, it's almost off the Oregon and Washington coast, and that's where that area of low pressure will kind of anchor itself, and that will allow high pressure in the desert southwest to intensify. And now we switch to our temperature map because we're back to the hot weather on Monday. We should see highs around 90 degrees or so, and look how our map darkens up on Monday. Keep in mind the deep orange and reds are mid-90s and even 100-degree temperatures, and even more of those colors as we move into Tuesday, where temperatures by then could be in the upper 90s and possibly even higher than that as we work our way into later in the week. Let's take a look now at your quick lube and tune forecast tonight. A cool overnight low, a lot cooler than we've seen anyway, 62 overnight. Our weekend looks great. Some haze on Saturday and 86 degrees. And then the warm-up begins on Sunday. Maybe a little more haze Sunday too, and 90. And then the warm-up is on. 93 on Monday with mostly sunny skies. We'll stay mostly sunny on Tuesday, and 97. I think maybe a little bit higher than 97 on Wednesday. Very hot. And Thursday, we'll back off from those temperatures just a bit. Highs by the end of next week around 95 degrees. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around north central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. Also, keep it right here on the NCW Life channel Monday morning for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with host Dan Kuntz and News with Steve Hare. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great weekend.
Oh, hey, Nate. What you doing there?
I'm just reading a book.
A book? I didn't even know they made those anymore. Where'd you get it?
Right down the street at Yield Bookshop.
Yield Bookshop? I'm gonna go check it out.
If you're looking for a good book to read, or you're in the market for some beautiful handcrafted creations from local artisans, look no further than Yield Bookshop right in the heart of downtown Wenatchee.
Tacos Chava has something new. Customers at Tacos Chava say it's the best Mexican food around. Nachos, enchiladas, tortas, ensaladas, and introducing camarones in many styles. You'll love the fresh salsa bar with so much selection. Are you ready for Tacos Chava? Find them at 2 great locations, the Wenatchee Valley Mall and Entiat. Tacos Chava, tan delicioso.
Lakeshland Mailboxes is a small place with a lot to offer. Job one is shipping and receiving from A to Z. They pack it, they label it, they ship it. But did you know we also offer notary service, online computer access, legal forms, copies, greeting cards, and of course, mailboxes. Schland Mailboxes, everything you need in one small package.